T minus 1 minute. T minus 50 seconds. T minus 40 seconds. T minus 30 seconds. T minus 20 seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Dzień dobry Państwu. Kłaniam się, bardzo mi miło powitać Państwa w ten piękny polski wieczór na serii webinariów prowadzonych przez program English Teaching Fundacji NIDA, a także innowacyjną, darmową platformę InstaLing. Zacznę oczywiście od przedstawienia tego, co u nas się dzieje, czyli od powiedzenia, co zarówno w English Teachingu, jak i w InstaLingu ostatnio. No i przede wszystkim tak, zapraszamy w ramach programu English Teaching. Serdecznie zapraszam Państwa do szkoleń weekendowych. Szkolenia programu English Teaching, jeśli jesteście nauczycielami, nauczycielkami języka angielskiego, to zdecydowanie super fajna rzecz, którą można zrobić. Proszę wejść na englishteaching.org.pl, żeby się dowiedzieć więcej. To zdecydowanie coś wartego uwagi, zwłaszcza, że są to programy przecież sponsorowane, także koniecznie weźcie to pod uwagę. Druga rzecz, także z English Teachingu, przepraszam, bardzo fajna rzecz, jeżeli uczycie języka angielskiego, w szczególności w małych miejscowościach, w szkołach wiejskich, to mamy bardzo fajny system English Teaching Activities. To jest program, który można nawet do 17 000 złotych uzyskać na dofinansowanie do realizacji swojego własnego projektu językowego. Można skorzystać ze szkoleń metodycznych, z różnego rodzaju wsparcia projektowego. W związku z czym zdecydowanie również warto wejść na englishteaching.org.pl, żeby się zwyczajnie dowiedzieć więcej o tego rodzaju możliwościach. Zdecydowanie polecam, bardzo fajna sprawa. Na z kolei co w InstaLingu? No InstaLing, jak wiecie Państwo, to jest platforma, która jest po pierwsze darmo, nauczyciel nie płaci, uczeń nie płaci, rodzic nie płaci, można używać całkowicie darmo, płacą tylko ci, co chcą wykraczać poza program. Jest to platforma, która umożliwia zapamiętywanie słówek, utrwalanie słownictwa, także tworzenie sprawdzianów, także zadawanie zdalnych prac domowych w tej chwili obecnej, jak również monitoring pełen tego, czy uczeń, uczennica się uczyli każdego dnia, czy się zarejestrowali, proponowane oceny, w związku z czym bardzo fajna sprawa i ciągle się można rejestrować, także bardzo zachęcam, żeby Państwo się rejestrowali. Tutaj macie Państwo adres bit.ly/rejestracja. Można wejść, zarejestrować się jako nauczyciel, nauczycielka szkoły publicznej, niepublicznej, mają Państwo prawo się zarejestrować. Zapraszam. Co więcej, są szkolenia, nawet w tej chwili trwa szkolenie darmowe z używania platformy, będzie też w przyszłym tygodniu kolejne, więc zdecydowanie warto. No, dla tych z Państwa, co chcą sobie najpierw wcześniej poczytać, zobaczyć jak to działa, jest także na przykład podręcznik metodyczny, przygotowany całkowicie z myślą o Państwu i tutaj możecie Państwo go zobaczyć o bit.ly/insta-link. Też możecie Państwo sobie dokładnie to obadać. No dobra, ale tyle tytułem wstępu, bo dzisiaj ma nie być ani o English Teachingu, ani o InstaLingu. To są wszystko fajne rzeczy, ale myślę, że już znacie, nie po to tu jesteście. W związku z czym dzisiaj mam wielką przyjemność powitać super fajną osobę, super fajną gościnię, Irenę Grabarczyk. Już się śmieję w tle, bo słyszałem, co powiedziałem. No bardzo się cieszę, że Panią widzę. Przede wszystkim, dlaczego Panią tutaj widzimy? No dlatego, że jest Pani wyjątkową osobą, żeby powiedzieć co nieco o nauczaniu języków. No jak Państwo pewnie wiecie, ale jeśli nie wiecie, to powiem, Pani Grabarczyk jest nauczycielką języka angielskiego, jest doświadczoną trenerką, a także specjalizuje się, no nie wiem, czy mogę tak powiedzieć, ale w edukacji wczesnoszkolnej. To jest taki troszkę jej zakres specjalizacji, więc tym bardziej jest super ciekawe, jak do tego tematu będzie mogła podejść, co ona będzie mogła powiedzieć, ale ponieważ ja już tutaj nie chcę się za dużo mądrzyć, to wycofuję się do offu. Serdecznie dziękuję, że zgodziła się Pani być z nami. No i oddaję Pani głos, oddaję mikrofon, włączam jeszcze, jak rozumiem, slajdy i no
Yes, please.
Yours. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. Thank you and welcome everyone. Thank you for such a nice introduction. It's a pleasure to be here. Welcome all of you who are watching. I'm very curious. Where are you? Where do you live? If you could interact with me a bit in the chat box, if you can type in where do you live, that would be great. I am very curious. And maybe what's the weather like at your end? Because here in Warsaw we had a very gloomy Tuesday. So hopefully my colorful presentation will change that. That's what I hope. Okay, so let's begin. Let me switch to my presentation. Here we go. Okay. Right, so Wellbeing ESL Kit, tak, czyli relacyjny narzędziownik anglisty. Well, it's a kind of a special and a bit sentimental session for me, because I recently closed a chapter in my career working in special needs education, mixed groups with special needs students. And I must admit that this 5-year, I think, 5-year experience has changed me as a teacher. And here I am, willing to share this experience with you. So there will be some stories, some tips, some activities, of course. And well, during the pandemic, there were many webinars. Well, I've watched many webinars on the topic of well-being, building good relationships within schools, communities, and I would like to add to this as well. So let me see. I'll try to go back to I'll try to go back to to my browser and see. Oh, I can see Magdalena from Choszczno, Zachodniopomorskie. Hello. Ola Deren from Oława. It's so nice. Thank you for sharing. 30 kilometers from Wrocław. 30 kilometers from Wrocław. It's a bit dark outside, so it's hard to tell what the weather is like. Yeah, same here. And Iwona Szczuka from Ełk. So welcome, welcome, ladies. Right. So I was looking for a metaphor for teacher's role, and I found this picture, and it's very well. This was my favorite, and it actually it captures a very special moment, because this is a way I show. That's what I do during arts and crafts activities with my students. I just show them how to stick two items together successfully. And what I do is I press those two items after putting the glue on the surface. I press it and show students to count out loud to 10, and they take it very seriously, and do as instructed. And it's a serious, it's a serious thing. And I think that this is what depicts, right, the role of the teacher. I mean, someone who is ready to assist to give tools to show how to use them, right? Not doing the job for the child. So kind of here kind of a helping hand. And then I thought, how about the group? How about the class, right, of students? And I was looking for a metaphor for this. And I found recently, I found a set of crayons from my childhood. And as you can see, yeah, maybe that would be a good question for you. What do you see here? I mean, what words come to your minds when you look at this picture of these crayons? If you could share in the chat box, that would be great. And I'll try to go back. Oh, sorry. Something went wrong. Okay, but I'm here with you again. Good evening. Pani Agnieszka Babiś. Okay. Okay. Okay, so I just yeah. So far there are no comments. So I'll explain what came to my mind, and well, they are all different, yeah, in many different ways. I mean, colors, length, right, and some of them are sharp, some are more sharper. And I thought, you know, when I create my presentations, I'd like to make them so aesthetic, and I thought, well, and to well, maybe that's not the best idea. But then it strike me that this is what we deal. I mean, yes, the students that come to our classrooms are very different, right, from one another, with different experience, different backgrounds, and I thought it would be a nice metaphor, and this is my inner perfectionist didn't get the voice here, so so I decided this is how they are, and they are wonderful. I mean, these crayons are nobody produces these kind of crayons anymore. They are wonderful. They can you can draw a wonderful picture using them. So now the question is how to do it. How do we teachers make these crayons well, enable them to do art. And here we are going to talk about this. So this is these are some aspects, right? Some special needs of my students, and that I've worked with during these years. Only some of them. And I also thought that, well, I worked in special classes, or integrated. Yeah, they are called integrated classes. But actually, nowadays, there are so many children who are not diagnosed. And they have some difficulties that this is what we deal in mainstream classes as well, right? And yes, this is what we are dealing with. And obviously the answer for that, how to let these crayons do the art and draw a beautiful rainbow, are good relationships, and this is what I'm going to talk about now. The first thing I would like to mention is contribution. Yes, very, very important, and that's the first tip I would have, and first challenge is to how to let everyone have a space to contribute, right? No matter how difficult learning English is, right, for them. So a solution for that is preparing different channels of communication. For example, when you have and I had well, many different learning many students, you know, in one classroom, many students with different special educational needs, and then I had to be prepared for this interaction. And for example, if well, I worked with students with for example, selective mutism, right? And that was very challenging because I'll just, okay, here's the definition. Yes, it's in Polish. In case you haven't heard about this one. Mutyzm wybiórczy albo selektywny, tak, jest stosunkowo rzadkim zjawiskiem klinicznym. Charakteryzuje się tym, że dziecko odmawia mówienia w pewnych określonych sytuacjach, na przykład w przedszkolu lub w szkole, wobec rówieśników i nauczycieli, podczas gdy w innych sytuacjach, na przykład w domu, w stosunku do rodziców i rodzeństwa, wypowiada się swobodnie. No i taka sytuacja występuje pomimo braku uszkodzeń mózgowych i ośrodków mowy i przy prawidłowym jej rozumieniu. Tutaj to jest definicja z portalu Psychologia w praktyce. No tak się składa, że to jest bardzo rzadka taka rzadko się zdarza, tak, ten mutyzm wybiórczy, natomiast ja gdzieś tam miałam takich uczniów 3. Okay, so let's go back to English, and let's imagine having in your classroom a student with hearing disability and mutism and aphasia, right? So, for example, to practice vocabulary or revise the vocabulary with students with mutism, you would have to use either a sign language or invent your own signs, because that's what I did as well. And students actually are very good at inventing signs, right? So you can include miming, and this is very important to introduce these channels, these channels together. So it would be as you can see, there's a microphone for verbal, right, for speech. There are hands for miming. So for example, a rabbit would be, yes. You could show it like this, for example. There would be pictures as well, word cards, and it is very important. So it would be introduced together, and it would be used on each step of the way. Yes, first when introducing vocabulary, and then practicing, revising, and so on and so on. Right. So it's very effective when I think it sends a very important message to students that each of them has to be involved in some kind of way, even if they can't pronounce a word, right? Or yes. So there are other ways. Sometimes what you can do is prepare two pictures and let the children match them together, or for example, point at a picture, yes, if that's what the student is capable of. Okay, so let's go further. Okay, so now about sticking the group together and some activities that helps us to create, to build this sense of community within the group, yes, or the whole school community. Okay, so this is my favorite, building a tower. It's a great task because it involves the whole group, and obviously I think pair work, group work is very common, but from time to time it's really wonderful to engage your students with something that will engage all of them, yes, as a whole group, as a whole class. And this is actually a very nice a very nice tool. Yes, these blocks, they are from Tiger, if I remember correctly, and each side of this block has something on it, either a number or a fruit. There are colors as well, so there are many ways to practice vocabulary, yes, and there are 10 blocks, so you can engage quite many students, and you can ask each student to repeat or say the word that is in the picture. Well, so what are the benefits? Well, obviously vocabulary practice, that's one, but the other thing is that the students practice focus, yes, and it's something they're building together. They're really working right toward one goal, and at the end, well, you can also take this pyramid or a tower one by one. Yeah, take one block at a time. But my favorite way is to make a vote. Let your student decide what to do, and sometimes they want to well, demolish it. I mean, gently, obviously, but this is also kind of cheerful and fun way to do it. Okay, so some other towers. Obviously, you can build towers out of simple, normal, let's call them blocks, right? Wooden or plastic. You can also stick some word cards or picture cards on them, yes, for practicing vocabulary. But yeah, these are some more, and obviously it would be nice as well to consider which way to which items choose according to the age of your students and their capability and how will they be able to build a tower out of the items. Because, well, lately I also we were also building a tower out of animals, plastic animals, and that was quite a challenge for 7-year-olds, but they managed. It was a bit yeah, it was a bit yeah, difficult, but they didn't. Okay, another idea, the giant printer. Here you can see a mystery box, which is which has one of the options here. One of the features is the printer. As you can see, there's a card coming out. But actually, it's more of a drama activity. So your students will be the printer. So this activity is best when you revise vocabulary, when the students already know the word and they know well, they can predict what can be, what will come out of the printer, right? And the idea is to okay, I'm going to, sorry, I'll have to switch again because I want you to see me. Okay, yeah, so the idea is to uncover the flashcard and the picture, and the students can guess what is it, right? So obviously you can prepare a mystery box or a printer made of a box, but actually I really prefer some, simple ideas lately, and you don't have to carry them. It really works. Children, children's imagination will do the work, right? So you can use just 2 flashcards, and that's all. And what do the students do? They make the sound of a printer. Yes, and it would be a beep beep noise. And the idea is that they would do it at the same time. They would feel the rhythm. And it's not so easy, right? To kind of, to fit in. So this really enables them to cooperate, to feel, to feel each other as a group. Yeah. So it would go like that, like this. Yeah. Beep, 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 and so. And obviously, well, it's a wonderful voice saver for the teacher, and that's an extra point, right? Something to add up. Okay. So another the giant art activity, and I haven't done this with my students, but I've observed it at a Spanish school I visited, and it's, as you can see, it's a giant art activity, and the students were given half of a figure of a person, and they decorated it. And here, what you can do, you can ask your students to fill it with any vocabulary you can think of, you need to use. You can fill it with words if you wish them to practice vocabulary, writing vocabulary. So there are many possibilities, and then obviously it's, the most important, well, not the most, but it's crucial to to expose it like this, to put it all together and to see how yes, different perspectives can be brought together to and create this wonderful art, and what wonderful can be the outcome. So I think this is an important message as well. And here is something similar. Unfortunately I couldn't show the faces of my students, so you can see only me and the work. Probably you can see the details. It was made for the great anniversary of the school, and the students were given a half of the building, half a sheet of paper with half of a photograph of the building of their school, and their task was to draw the other half. So it gave me the possibility to practice colors, right, and also parts of the building, vocabulary, windows, door, and so on, right? So and then we would stick the artworks together in and then it would be folded as a harmonica, and we handed it to the head teacher. So it was really something, and kind of a nice gesture and a present. And well, unfortunately I didn't have other pictures, but this is kind of the idea. And I have an idea for you for I'm sorry, I'm missing the word, for Easter, because Easter will come. Yeah, I mean, well, it's still winter, but we're hoping that spring will come after. So this is an idea to do something similar, and I think that holidays are always a good. It's always good timing for such an activity, because during the school year there are maybe not that many, because we're we may not have time. And here this is a this is a web page, Mr. Printable. You can see the address at the bottom, and I really recommend it for art and crafts activity or coloring pages, also flashcards. And here is an Easter egg, a coloring page, but it's kind of a huge scale. It's a big one, a giant Easter egg. So you can, I think it comes with four A4 size. It's divided in 4 A4 rectangles with the coloring material, and then you can put it all together. So you can divide your group and also ask them to color the egg. You can there's plenty of, as you can see, there's plenty of spring vocabulary as well. So you can ask them when to color, and then they can also write the words beneath, right? So this is an idea, a ready idea you can use quite soon. Okay, so the next thing that is important to me is appreciating students' initiative, and probably you feel the same way. But this is when the magic begins. And in my opinion, well, from my experience, the best activity ideas, they come and they are inspired by this energy created in the classroom with the students, and that's why, as you can see, something happened here, and the crayons in the picture are drawing with, yeah, there's glitter, yeah, glitter coming out of it. Okay, so so this is we're coming back to the giant printer, but this is Tymek's version, and when my students have some ideas and that really works and that really work, and I change something with the activities, I try to then I named the activity after them to kind of honor this input. And one of my students, Tymek, during during uncovering the picture, well, he was, I think, the first to guess what was behind the other flashcard, and it was, let's say, a ladybird. And he said, "Oh, why shouldn't we, instead of beep beep noise, make just say the word ladybird? Yes, ladybird, 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 ladybird." And I thought, wow, yeah, this is, wow, genius. I mean, great. So that's how I altered the game, and that's what we did. We were instead of, as soon as someone guessed the word, the whole group had to repeat it, right? So this is one idea. And another one, so this is Marta's nothing card, and this is also an idea that was generated. Well, it came. It was inspired by Marta, who is well, she's very very clever, and she knows. She was learning more than one language, foreign language, and during one of the activities, when I was presenting some flashcards, well, I brought one which was just a blank page, and it was it was a mistake, my mistake. But I thought, well, I'm going to surprise them, and I'm going to ask, "What's this?" Yes, I mean, what's this? It's a ladybird. What's this? It's a butterfly. What's this? And everybody was surprised, and no one could tell really what is it. But Marta, she said, "It's nothing." Yes, so the nothing card, and it had to stay. And my students absolutely insisted that it had to stay. And from time to time, the nothing card was in the game. Right, so that's another anecdote. And the third activity, which is the jumping teacher, and it's kind of a way of reversing the roles. And it also it was an idea that came to me because, well, thanks to my students. We were just about to start a game. I was going to, well, I was revising vocabulary and preparing them for an activity, and I was jumping from one flashcard. There were many flashcards on the floor, and I was jumping from one to another and eliciting the words and asking them to tell me what is it, and this is how it how it started, a totally new game, and I thought that maybe I should give them the chance to give orders and to tell me where should I go. So so that's what they did, and I was jumping from one picture to another. They would tell me the name of the picture, right, of the word. I would jump, and obviously sometimes some of the students would choose the most far, because the flashcards were spread on the floor, on the whole around the whole classroom. So I had to do my gymnastics. You have to be fit for that. Okay, so another tip talk about emotions, right? It's very important so that students could learn how to name their emotions, and I had this reflection that when I started teaching groups, I think it was 10 years ago. Yeah, about 10 years ago. There were songs about feelings or rhymes about feelings, but it was mostly, hello, here, same as here. Hello, Anya, how are you? And then I am fine, thank you. And that's all. And I thought, well, this is not natural. I mean, obviously it's being polite and it's a cultural thing, right? But it's so important to be able to grasp, to talk about emotions, especially when it comes to kids, right? And this is the important message, that this is important how they feel. It's not. And I think it's more important than being polite. So this is the idea of a very, very simple song. It's called the Blabla Song, because the blabla is something, a word for a feeling. Yes, so we would rhyme it with clapping like this. Yes, and the rhythm and the dynamic is very important. So it would go, hello, Anya, how are you? I am blah, blah, thank you. This is how we practice. This is how you introduce it with the blah, blah word. And it became a blah, blah song. The children obviously loved the blah, blah part. But then instead of blah, blah, they are supposed to choose a feeling, right? For example, yes, hello, Anya, how are you? I am happy, thank you. And this is what we do. You can practice it in the circle. Obviously, it's difficult with bigger groups to do it every day in the morning. Well, that's impossible, but it is really important to have this time from time to time to sit in a circle, or with a bigger groups at school when your students are sitting at their desk, to just find some space for this kind of talk. And this is one of their favorite songs. And it's so simple. And that's what we used to do with it. I used some rabbit clips, and they could during singing the song they could choose the right word. It's a good idea if you can leave it in the classroom. If you can, for example, hang these word cards with feelings on a string, and then it would be ideal if the child, if each child would come each day and just clip their rabbit in the right place to show how they feel. Obviously, there are names of the students written on the rabbits, so each student has a rabbit. Yes, and well, here are some simple ideas, especially if you want to practice reading. For example, if your students are if you are working with bigger groups, so maybe just a simple activity, how are you, and make a circle around. Yes, as you can see, we've got happy, surprise, euphoric, sad, angry, calm, excited, and scared. That's what we had. And on the top, because I just explained you the bottom one, and the top one is an activity, you ask your students to kind of depict the emotion, Yeah, using crayons. Angry, it's red. Yes, and as you can see, the drawing is very, you know, dramatic. And happy is a bit like a sun, and sad is just, I don't know, it's just circles, right? And it looks very calm. So it's very interesting how they. I don't have any any works of my students, but it's very interesting how they you know, how they see it, and what kind of ideas they can come up with. Okay, and that's another that's another very quick, because sometimes it's about timing, right? It's impossible to make space, you know, on an every day for this. So this is another another idea. You can ask your students, how are you, right? And then ask them or help them, yeah, because older students will be able to draw it on their hand, but the little ones no. So just help them with drawing an expression on their finger. And obviously, especially in with school students, there are many activities which involves, but in kindergarten too, right? Which involves many activities that involve pointing at something, right? So it's very, very practical to have this face. It's just funny, yes, but students love it. Okay, I promised in the description that that we're going to talk a bit about cooperation and about how to do more cooperation and less competition, right? Especially during games. And I must say that at the beginning of my career, teaching bigger groups, this rivalry aspect was kind of seen as a way to motivate students. But during these years, especially, you know, learning students with special needs, it has, well, fortunately, it has changed. So this is an activity, I call it word islands. And you may know something similar, but this is an action game. I photographed my. It's in my living room. I couldn't show you the pictures of my students, but there are. The idea is that the flashcards are spread, and they are all over the classroom floor. And obviously, the distance between one flashcard and the other is much. Yes, it's bigger than here, as you can imagine. And the students, they move around the classroom. You can play a song. They can do some. They can dance. They can jump. They can hop. They can do whatever you wish. That actually kind of is related with your topic. And when the music stops, for example, when there's a certain sign, they have to find a word, a card with a picture that you ask them to. And well, what I do is I did a counting, yeah. And so, you know, the game would be more dynamic. But the idea, the goal of this activity is for everyone in the group to find the word, the card, and to make a circle around the card. Obviously, with bigger groups, you can prepare 2 or 3 the same cards, and your students can move, gather around the cards in smaller groups, right? But this is very important, that it's not, the point of the game is not to be, it's not who would be the first. It's the fact that everyone is there. And my students knew that their job, if there were students who wouldn't hear, or didn't see or didn't hear, or couldn't find the card, I'm just checking the time, sorry. Their role is to help out, is to take someone's hand and bring them to the circle. And I must say that this is really powerful, because they are really it's a real life lesson for them, and it works wonderfully. Okay, so we have still 10 minutes, so let's go to the next one. Encourage self-reflection. Yes, self-reflection. Even, obviously there's more of this when you work with older students, but and this is more obvious. But here, well, you can start pretty early. So that's another idea. Designing a flag of your own, and then maybe a flag for the group, for the class. It's very important for younger students to kind of show them the idea of the flag, because some of them, they just when you tell them that we're going to design a flag, they kind of they're very attached to the idea that the flag is a symbol, right, of a certain country. So you have to show them some other flags, and then and obviously it's a wonderful idea. It's a wonderful opportunity to revise the vocabulary that they already know, because what can be on a flag of a child? Yes, the things that they like, the colors they like, the patterns they like, their favorite toy, and so on and so on, and so on and so on. So here you can see the flag with a tractor, and as you can see, it's this is the time after the lesson, and the children are playing with their flags. Right, so so this is a kind of an activity to encourage students to well, to talk a bit with them, right, about their well, identity, but you know, at this at this level. Yes, these are the things that are close to them, and yeah. All right, so another thing with a bit older students, how lucky are you? So this is an idea for St. Patrick's Day with a shamrock. Try to also, it's an activity for you. I mean, we won't have time probably to do it here now, but try to think about the things that makes you happy, right? And why can you be? What are the reasons, right, for being thankful? Are you? Yes. How lucky are you? So I'm going to share mine with you. I think I wrote it probably a year ago, or maybe 2 years ago, before the pandemic. So with the traveling, it's not that easy anymore, but still it is possible. So here it is. And here's well, you can adapt it. You can prepare such a shamrock with pictures, or just one word, or a sentence like here. Yeah, and obviously I chose the very, the simple ones, the simple structures, like I have. So yeah. Okay, so another thing when it comes to well-being, take a break. And obviously a break is very, very important, both for teachers and for students. But here, something about brain breaks. It's one of them, and our guests in our training centers, the students are playing a very short activity. Yes, it's kind of a brain break. They are pretending to be animals, dancing, and let them dance, let them move, and then when the music stops, for example, ask them to be a monument, right? A monument of a tiger, a monument of a giraffe. Yes, and then unfreeze, and they can move again. And it takes just a few minutes. There are more ideas, because this is the monument idea is taken from Edutopia, and you can find it in their YouTube channel, and it's very nice. There are more wonderful ideas for such brain breaks, so you can find more, and it takes just a few minutes when you see that your students are tired, and you actually maybe you need a break too. Okay, and last but not least, take a closer look. And here's an idea for a teacher's notebook. Well, probably some of you have been making notes about their students. But I must say, honestly, that I've never done this throughout the whole year. I wasn't that consequent. It's very, very difficult when you have many students, and with lack of time. And but from time to time, just choose one student and observe him or her, and make quick notes, and then it will help you both to when you evaluate them. But also, it's especially with the students that have difficulties, that sometimes, it may be difficult for you to work with them. It's a really great idea to just focus on these positive things, and on their improvement. And I realize it's not easy to do it, but it's worth it, right? So yeah. All right. So here's to sum it up. I finally put these crayons in an order, well, according to the colors. So well, it's not a rainbow, but I think it looks well. It looks really nicely, and you can see they kind of all in a harmony, right? If I may say so. So that would be the that would be the outcome. And well, I thought I hope that I inspired you a bit. We've got 1 minute left, so thank you very much. If there are any questions, I am willing to answer them, of course. And thank you very much. Thank you for having me and for your interaction.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate
you.
it. If there are any questions, now is the time, and now or never. It's been very inspirational. I really appreciate it. I think it is awesome, and basically, to see the very talented teachers, other teachers' toolbox. It's good to be inspired in general. I think it's great. Appreciate your insight, everyone. Make sure you keep up the good work. Make sure you check out the English teaching program. Also register on InstaLing if you haven't. In the bottom of the screen, you can see the attendance list. Please register. You can receive a certificate if you're an InstaLing teacher. And otherwise, apparently, there are no questions. I'm surprised, but of course, people are stunned. Wow, so much knowledge. People are really unable to process all that. So thank you so much. Really appreciate it, and hope to see you in the future. Really appreciate it. Kudos for your work. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, there's one.
Yeah, there's a question.
Okay, thank you. Very engaging activities. Thank you for that. Which one is your favorite to start classes with? I think this Blabla Song. It's really, it's a really good start. It's very simple, but sometimes, I think the longer I teach, the more simple ideas I appreciate. Okay, thanks. Thank you.
All right, let's give a big hand to our guest. Thank you so much. I'm going to end the broadcast now, and see you.
Thank you.
Have a great year.
Thank you for hosting this event and for your support. So,
Thanks.
yeah.